hidden gems in most of the makeup categories, so let's just go ahead and jump into it. The Believe Beauty Foundation. This stuff is so good. I fell back in love with this foundation recently. It has good medium coverage, looks very much like your skin, and it has great lasting power. The shade that I currently use in this is in Linen, and it comes with a pump. It's in a nice glass bottle and is super affordable. So it's like, what is not to love about that foundation? It just seems so much higher end than what it cost. And then I'm just gonna use my dampened Wet n Wild makeup sponge to apply this. This Wet n Wild makeup sponge is also another huge favorite of mine, but I feel like this is not a hidden gem. I feel like a lot of people like this makeup sponge and talk about it, but I do recommend it if you've never heard anyone talk about it before. It's a great dupe to the Beauty Blender, and I also like how it has this flat edge, which the Beauty Blender doesn't have. I hope that you can tell how easily this foundation blends onto the skin and just like how skin-like this foundation looks. It has such a good natural finish. Like, it's not too overly dewy, and it's definitely not matte. And then I'm just blending some of that foundation here on my nose. So I don't have a Drugstore hidden gem concealer in my collection currently. Honestly, my concealer collection is very small. So like the concealer I'm currently using is the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer, and I feel like this is a very talked about concealer and people know how good it is. But I mean, if you haven't heard anyone mention it before, it is a great dupe to the Tarte Shape Tape, their hydrating version of the Shape Tape. It has really good coverage and it's not drying on the under eyes. Number 2 is the L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable Powder. This has been a long-time favorite of mine. The lid kind of broke here. I never hear anybody talk about this powder anymore, and it's still just as good as it ever was. It has great coverage. There is such a great color range. On days when I don't want to wear foundation and I just want to wear this powder, I can build it up and almost use it as a powder foundation. It's not quite as full coverage as some actual powder foundations, but it has more coverage than other pressed setting powders like this. And I would agree that it is a very buildable and blendable powder, because if you apply it very lightly, it just adds a little bit of coverage to your foundation, gives it like a very airbrushed look. Number 3 is the e.l.f. Clear Lash and Brow Mascara. This stuff is super affordable, like $3 from the drugstore, and it does a really great job of lifting your brows and setting them into place. I have 2 here because this one has been used, so it's kind of like after you use it, it gets a little cloudy. When it's new, it's just completely clear like this. But this is such a great, affordable, clear brow gel that holds your brows in place really well. So just to show you guys, I mean, it's not going to give you a super laminated brow look, but I've tried a lot of different clear brow gels from the drugstore that, and even high-end ones, that just don't hold your brows very well, and also have a tendency to get kind of crusty and flaky. It's like as soon as you put one layer of it on, you can't really go back and make any adjustments, or it's just going to kind of gel up and get really flaky. And this stuff does not do that. So it's a win-win in my book, that it just lifts your eyebrows slightly and also keeps them from being flaky, and it's super affordable, which I have been on a brow journey to find a good affordable brow product that will give you an extreme fluffy brow, like a really good laminated brow effect. But I have had the hardest time finding that product. I've tried the e.l.f. Brow Lift, the e.l.f. Soap Brow, and a few others that just haven't worked. So if you know of a product, let me know down in the comments, because I've just been on the hunt to find something like that. I'm going to fill my eyebrows in with the NYX Micro Brow. This is another favorite product, but I wouldn't necessarily say it's a hidden gem, just because this is a product that I feel like a lot of people mention in their videos. But it is a very good brow pencil, very comparable to the Benefit Precisely My Brow, or like the Anastasia Brow Wiz, any of those micro brow pencils. It's a good dupe to those. Do any of you guys have cats? Like, I swear every time I go to do my makeup, or probably even if you had dogs, I only have cats, but I will find like the smallest little cat hairs all over my face. I had one on my nose and it was tickling so bad. We have two, it's like four. We have two cats, Pepper and Salem. I don't have a Drugstore hidden gem eyeshadow primer. In fact, I don't really have any Drugstore primers in my makeup collection, except for some of these discontinued Master Prime by Maybelline eyeshadow primers. So let me know in the comments if you have any favorite Drugstore eyeshadow primers that people don't talk about that are really good. Let me know down in the comments. But I'm just using my Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion. This is just a solid eyeshadow primer. I always say a solid, so it makes you think that this is solid, but what I'm trying to say is it's a good like go-to eyeshadow primer that I know is always going to work for me. My fourth Drugstore hidden gem is Maybelline eyeshadows, and I recently fell back in love with their City Mini palettes, and the quality of the eyeshadows are just so good. The shimmers are really pigmented, and so are the matte shades. They're super easy to blend out, and they're super affordable. Like, for this little palette, it's under $8. If you have a lot of eyeshadows in your collection like I do, it takes a long time to even get through an eyeshadow. Eyeshadow palettes can take up a lot of space in your collection, but these little City Mini palettes are just so compact. Love the shadows, and also Maybelline makes some really great single eyeshadows that I never hear mentioned. Like this one in Nude Glow is one of my absolute faves. As you can see, I've hit pan on it. This other one in the Glow Down is really good. And these two palettes, this one in Rooftop Bronzes and in Chill Brunch Neutrals. These two are my most used City Mini palettes. And if you've seen my more recent Get Ready With Me's, I have mentioned these a few times. And I've also done 4 looks, 1 palette using this palette here in Rooftop Bronzes. So there's a few other palettes that I have purchased from this City Mini palette line from Maybelline that I haven't quite used yet, but I love these other two so much that I wanted to try these out today and see if I like these as much as the other ones. I'm gonna bust into Cocoa City and Diamond District. Cocoa City has more like warm tones, and Diamond District is a little bit more cool toned. So first I'm gonna go in with this shade right here. And I'm just gonna blend that in the crease. But as you can see, that blended out really nice. So that's definitely on par with the other matte shades that are in Chill Brunch Neutrals and Rooftop Bronzes. And it's like, I have yet to try a bad one of these little palettes. All the ones that I have used have been really good. For my brow bone highlight, I'm gonna go in with this white, this matte white in Diamond District. Then for the outer V, I'm going to use this dark matte purple. And I'm using my Wet n Wild small concealer brush to just pat that right out here. Maybelline eyeshadows definitely don't get as much love as they deserve, in my opinion. I'm just taking a clean blending brush and going around the edge here of this outer V color. This is just the Sigma E25 blending brush. And I'm gonna grab just a little bit more of that deep plum color and just blend that out here. I've been really into like these plummy colors lately. Then I'm gonna go in with some of this teal. I'm just gonna lightly blend that here on the lower lash line. Get a little bit more. And I'm just using my Sigma Pencil E30 brush. To just smudge that. It's like for the lid, I'm kind of torn between this shade in Diamond District or this shade, this golden shade in Cocoa City. They're both so pretty, but maybe I'll use a little bit of both. I think first I'm gonna go in with the Diamond District and this shade here. And I'm going to pack that shade here on this Real Techniques Detailer brush. And sometimes with these Maybelline shadows like this, they can almost be like toppers, like eyeshadow toppers. But what my trick is to get them to be more intense is to use a makeup setting spray on them. And it basically transforms the eyeshadow. So I'm just gonna spray it with my e.l.f. Makeup Mist and Set. And then I'm gonna put this on the inner part of the eye. But I hope you can see all the little sparkles in this eyeshadow. It's such a pretty color. These shadows also apply nice with your finger as well. I just like to use a brush to be more precise. Now I'm gonna go in with Cocoa City and this gold shade. And I'm just gonna put that right here. Just kind of going over top of the shadow from Diamond District. I'm gonna go back with this deep plum on my Sigma E45 blending, and I'm just gonna take that up into the crease a little bit, like bring it over a little bit further. Just kind of blend the eyelid shades with the crease. I'm just grabbing some more of that warm brown in Cocoa City. And I'm just gonna blend at the top of the crease just a little bit more. I feel like we lost a little bit of the warmth there. And then I'm gonna take my makeup sponge and just clean up the edges a little bit. Number 5. If you've been a subscriber of mine for a little while, this definitely is not gonna be a surprise, but the Milani Brow Fix Brow Kit. Could I really do a tutorial without this? I don't know. But this is another product that is never talked about anymore. And I know this is also a harder product to find at the drugstores, but I love this highlight shade. It is my favorite inner corner highlight. And I also like to use it as my brow bone highlight too. So almost in every makeup look, I will use this as my inner corner highlight. It's just the perfect shade, and it's not too shimmery. It's perfect. And the other 2 shades are great for your brows, like brow powder products, and also for eyeshadows. So I still get this off of Amazon and I can find it occasionally at the drugstore, but like I said, it's pretty hard to find. But if you can get your hands on this, highly recommend it. I'm gonna go ahead and finish out the rest of the face and then we'll come back and finish the eyes. My sixth hidden drugstore gem is the e.l.f. Contour Palette. I just love this little palette and I feel like it does not get enough love. You have two different contour shades that you can bronze. I mostly use these for bronzing. I don't really contour that much anymore. I did swap out the other highlight shade in this palette. It's more of a matte highlight that you can use as a powder. I swapped it out for one of their blushes. But it is a good little setting powder. And then the highlight shade in here is really pretty. It's a good natural highlight. I'm going in with this bronzy shade, the lighter bronze. But the tone of this is so pretty. The bronzers have a satin matte finish, so they don't look too matte on the skin. I've actually went through one of these palettes before, like back in probably 2014, 2013. This was a go-to product for me. It's a throwback hidden gem. It was a product that a lot of people talked about back then, but it's not talked about much anymore at all. But it's still such a good product. And I'm just gonna take some around my hairline. And then I'm just gonna brush some here on my nose. And a little bit here on my jawline. And then I am going to use the highlight shade in this palette for my highlight, just because in my collection, I don't have any highlights that I feel like are hidden gems that people haven't mentioned. So these blushes by LA Girl. I never hear many people mention these, but this is the Just Blushing blushes. And the colors that I have is in Just Bare, Just Playful, and Just Natural. They're in between a matte and satin matte finish. They are super affordable. I usually can find these at CVS. The only downfall is that the packaging doesn't really hold up. Like all of these, the little hinges have broken off, but they're still, the product inside is really good. I'm just gonna use this shade in Just Playful today. But it's a really pretty peachy pink. And then I'm gonna go back to the highlight shade in this e.l.f. palette. So as you can see, it's a very natural finish highlight, which I feel like is more on trend right now. Number 7 is another Believe Beauty product, and I never hear anybody talk about these, but this is their long-lasting eyeliners. Not only are these long-lasting, but they glide on so effortlessly, and they also blend out really nice. Colors that they offer in these are really pretty as well. I have the shades in Queen Mauve, Olivia, and Enchanted. Today, since I'm going for a more colorful look, I'm gonna use Olivia, which is the olive green color. Like, it just glides on so easily. The shade of green is also really nice. It's very wearable. It has like little golden reflex in it. I'm gonna go ahead and mist my face with my e.l.f. Makeup Mist and Set, which this isn't a hidden gem. I feel like people also mention this product quite a bit. But I still really like that makeup setting spray. I also switched out the little pump for the Urban Decay sprayer just because I like that better than the one that comes on it. And then my second to last drugstore hidden gem is the L'Oreal Voluminous Mascara in Burgundy. This is kind of a newer product, but I recently discovered this 3 months ago and I have just been in love with the color of this mascara. It's a really beautiful burgundy. It looks kind of in between like a brown and burgundy on your lashes. These types of colored mascaras are hard to find, and especially at the drugstore, but L'Oreal makes some really great ones in this voluminous line. And I just really like the formula on the L'Oreal Voluminous. It's volumizing, but also separating. It's been one of my favorite mascaras for a very long time. I didn't have a lipstick that was a hidden gem. I feel like all of my lipsticks in my collection people mention quite often, but these 2 lip products from Burt's Bees, these are the lip shimmers. And I love these products. I wear these a lot on days when I want a little bit of color on my lips, but I don't want anything that's going to be too fussy. And I find that these do actually wear until I eat something. So the 2 colors that I wear the most is in Caramel and in Peony. And Caramel is more of a, I guess, warm nude, and Peony is a pink nude, which that is the color I'm going to wear today over top of that lip liner. It pairs really well. But I almost use these as lip toppers, either over lip liners or with lipsticks. They have a minty tingle feel to them, so if minty lip products bother your lips, you might want to steer clear from these, but highly recommend them, and they're really pigmented, super easy to throw in your bag and take with you. If you are new and you enjoy affordable drugstore makeup content, go ahead and subscribe. Be sure to turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any videos from me. I hope that you guys have a great day, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.
Shouldn't doubt yourself 'cause you're a work of art.